You are back here on the program. Big day for those of you who love books, whether or not you like the old-fashioned kind, bound in paper, or you read them on your electronic reader. The top 40 were revealed for Canada Reads today. I expect you to read all 40. We will discuss the big CBC annual battle of the books. Go to strombo.com for the full list. And don't forget Canada's richest award for fiction, which is the Giller Prize. It's right here on CBC on November the 8th. So a lot of ways to celebrate books right here on the Mother Corp. No doubt about it, there's a lot of book talk in the air. So is the Occupy Canada movement. You know, it's happening all over the place. I went last night to the Occupy Toronto just to check it out. Really cool stuff happening there in terms of the organization. And regardless of how you feel about the Occupy wherever protesters, I know we on this show and you as well, a lot of people, you know, bitch and complain about how the young people aren't politically active. Well, now they're engaged. And you can't be mad at them if you disagree with their politics, but you're actually getting engaged political people. So that in and of itself is interesting. But because books were in the air, we decided to do a list, you know, about some of the best books out there, and we decided to get the protesters' point of view. What are the books that inspired them as adults and kids? We like to call it Occupy Reads.
The one book everyone should remember to read is The Republic. This book is fantastic. There are a lot of different translations, and we wouldn't have our current government if it wasn't for the few thoughts that we've actually translated here into our current government.
Probably Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. It's a really, really interesting look at sort of time and the human self.
The book of lists. It lists the top 10 of everything, so that way you can never lose an argument, especially if you're married.
I definitely think it would be Stephen King's Under the Dome, because it keeps you on your toes, it seems realistic, and Stephen King is just a phenomenal writer in general.
Everyone in their lifetime, this should go on everybody's bucket list, in my opinion, is The BFG by Ronald Dahl. When I was a kid, it was one of the first books I read, and I really enjoyed it. I got to be a huge bookworm, and I still am, even though I'm legally blind.
One of my favorite children's books, I love Dr. Seuss. It's called On Beyond Zebra. And I think everybody ought to actually take a little look at this book, because it's the idea, and it's a kid's notion, but we ought to have that kid in us too that says you can move beyond the alphabet. There's so much more possible when you move beyond the realms of what people tell you and go into your imagination and start inventing things.
My favorite kids book for sure would be I Love You Forever by Robert Munsch. It sends out a great message to children and families.
I have a lot of favorite kids books. One of them that's applicable to this is The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. It's a pretty famous one. It's about the environment being destroyed. At the end of the book, I saw someone with a sign here the other day that said this. It says, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not.
Dr. Seuss, you know, he taught most people how to do gangster rap, you know. He is the original gangster rapper of all time.